Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks a lot. So today, I'm going to tell you about OVR and what's OVR and why building augmented reality games on OVR. So I don't have slides, so you will just have to listen to me. But basically, what is OVR? With OVR, we are building what is called an augmented reality metaverse. So the idea is to merge the physical and the virtual world through geolocalized augmented reality. So basically, we locate assets in space. The way we do that is basically using three main layers. So one of these layers is basically an ownership layer. So the world has been divided in hexagons of 300 square meters, and those ones are spatial domains. So just like in the web, you have a web domain and you decide the content on the web page, in OVR, you have spatial domains. So you buy, for example, the geographic coordinates that represent this location. You can decide what kind of augmented reality experience people will see through the phone on that location. So this is a way basically to assign control of what content is where in the physical world. So over that, we have a layer that we call a mapping layer. So as you might know, the most successful use case for augmented reality right now is Pokemon Go. In fact, when I talk about it, people ask me, what are you doing? I'm doing augmented reality. I say, what is augmented reality? I say, Pokemon Go. Aha, Pokemon Go. So why is that? Why Pokemon Go is the most successful use case? Because that specific use case, that specific game, doesn't need for precise geolocation. Because if you're collecting those assets, you don't really care where they exactly are. They can be there, they can be on the other side of the room. The game works anyway, because you just need to go around and collect those. So at OVR, we want to go beyond that. And so not only with gaming, but also with other use cases. So we wanted a system that allows to geolocate assets very precisely, and especially not only outdoor, where the GPS works quite fine, but also indoor, because as you might know, GPS indoor has no precision at all. So in order to obtain this goal, we created a system that from pictures of locations, we can generate a 3D map of that location that actually is an NFT that is owned by the guy that built that. But anyway, you create this 3D map, and from this 3D map, we can go down in precision from 6 meters outside to maybe 20 meters indoor to 20 centimeters, both indoor and outdoor. So this enables a lot of use cases that before was not possible. So again, coming back to the example of Pokemon Go. Right now, we have a similar game to Pokemon Go in our platform where you can go around and collect assets. So this is the first game that, for example, you can build on OVR, even without using Unity, because it's like a software as a service. We have many NFT projects that are working with us that want to gamify their assets. Maybe they minted 10,000 NFTs, and they want to gamify those. So you say, look, you built a treasure hunt, we distribute 3D assets represented your project in space, the best collector will actually get an NFT. So this is a use case that you can build without precision. You don't need precision at all. It is the same mechanic of Pokemon Go. But if you want to create some game that actually really takes care about what's the environment around you, maybe you want to hide something where there is a column or a monument or something like that, you actually need to be precise, because otherwise you will not know where the asset is. So this is what this system enables. So precise geolocalization that actually enable use cases that otherwise was not possible. And another important thing that OVR enables is basically what we call cross-metaverse assets. Everybody knows that NFTs are permissionless assets, and we like to also think about this permissionlessness as a powerful tool to create contents and spread those between other metaverses. So, for example, in OVR, you can actually take an asset from Sandbox that has a wonderful asset that are totally permissionless because the assets are really on IPFS. The content is there, and you can use it also on OVR. So, and those assets, for example, are coded also in Unity, so can work by default on our platform. So again, and the title of the speech is building a game on OVR in Unity. Why is it in Unity? Because over the second layer that I was mentioning you, this mapping layer, we have a builder layer. So this builder layer is enabled by two kind of components. One is a web builder, so for no coders, easy to just drag and drop files. But we have a more expressive tool that is a Unity plugin. So not only you can actually export static 3D files, but you can actually embed logics in these files that you can decide to program with a visual scripting language. So why Unity? Why building this in Unity? Well, very simply because, I mean, 50% of game developers built on Unity. The other 50 built on Unreal, and usually they can do both. So that's why we decided to actually use this kind of technology. And then again, the question, why trying to build a game on OVR instead of building it by scratch by yourself? So the idea and the reason why we built this SDK that enables people to create these games is that we believe that we can basically give to creators some tools that facilitate the job. So what are these tools? So first of all, there is all the building blocks that are already there in the app. So for example, we have a voice and text chat that is already there. So you need to build a game that needs voice and text chatting, you don't need to build it. The app is aware of the NFTs that you own. So you can create games that are enabled by other NFTs. For example, you can have a shooter game where if you have a certain NFT, you can actually shooting stronger. Or I don't know, maybe you know about an example like Jadu that did this wonderful overboards that you can actually use to combine with other NFTs. Again, you can have assets like that to move faster in space and so on. So the fact that the app is aware of NFTs, you can actually code logics that depend on those NFTs. So if you have this own NFT, you can perform some actions that otherwise you cannot do. Moreover, we have avatars. So we have an avatar system, so if you want to create a character, the character is already there. You don't need to build this from scratch. There are tokens, so you can also create like play-to-earn games where there is a token involved in that. And finally, we have also embedded counters, so you need to take points, how it goes, that is already over there. So that is basically our idea, the value proposition, and the reason why we build this Unity SDK. Because we believe that I mean, having all these stacks together, so the possibility to give control of assets, the opportunity to have precise geolocalization, and also giving these building blocks that anyway are needed to create a game, could be a very powerful proposition for someone that wants to create games and also want maybe to mix these metaverses. Because again, if you have something, an asset that is built on another metaverse, and you can actually activate it also on another metaverse where that was not burned at the beginning, this is very, very powerful because also give value to the asset itself. And that's it in a very short nutshell. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer you. I hope I was not too fast or too high level, but please. Yeah.
So you mentioned that the AR map itself is broken down into like parcels, right?
Yes.
Of the world. So people are able to buy those parcels?
Yes, correct.
And then essentially you can rent it out as like ad space. So if let's say I bought a parcel for this building, I would own all the AR ad space in this building for an event.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So right now, I mean, you need to own the land to publish, but in the next month, we're going to publish smart contracts for renting. And actually, since the goal is that these areas need to be as available as possible, basically, by default, you will be able to rent it from a fixed price. And of course, if the owner of the land is active and say, no, I don't want to rent it, it will not be rented, but otherwise, by default, will be rentable. So basically the idea is to make the space as viable as possible, because the idea is to be able to, people need to be able to use this ecosystem. Yeah, sorry about that, Siri started. Yeah, and yeah, anyway, thanks for the question. Yeah, this is the idea basically. And actually you was talking about advertisement. We see advertisement as the last thing that will be built on this layer. I mean, first, the things that will be built, and that are built actually also now, are content that people like to experience. Then, of course, if you create the compelling contents, maybe you can attach some marketing over there, but this is not really the way we see it, and we hope it's not going to be like that. Yes, please. Actually, nothing works on VR headset. So the idea is that everything that I just told you works on the mobile phone. Also, if you guys want to try the app, you just download it. And outside here also there is some augmented reality experiences. There is a POAP distributor that is an augmented reality, so you can have an idea of how this works. But regarding the wallet, coming back to your question, basically the way it works is that we require to the user an authorization. So basically then in the backend, we execute the transfer of the tokens. So it doesn't have, it just have to sign one transaction that authorizes the backend to interact with his wallet. So of course this will be done for a limited amount, so it doesn't risk that if any way breaks, I mean all the funds get drained. But this probably not the best way in terms of decentralization, but it's definitely the best way in terms of user experience. Right now we have 800,000 users. Only 200,000 of those have wallets connected to that. So it depends really what is the user you are looking for. Most probably, at least this is what we think, that if you want to engage a lot of people with a game, you should try to abstract as much of the complexity related to decentralization from this user. But yes, I hope I answered your question. Yes, please.
Is there any place for you that's off limits that you can't purchase the parcel?
Well, actually, the whole world is on sale. So right now, 820,000 of those parcels was bought. So we reserved some lands, but just for two reasons. So 5,000 of these parcels out of all of them are basically reserved. And the reason why we reserved those is for two reasons. So one is for marketing reasons, because we did, for example, a sale of the Tour Eiffel that went out for a big number, so it was good content marketing. And the second one is for religious places like La Mecca or I don't know, that could be, I mean, not seen very nicely from the community. But for the rest, the whole world is on sale, because the idea also, the price is very accessible, so it's $10 per land. So that if you're a creator and want to buy your backyard and want to test it, you can do that. You don't have to pay 1 ETH or 0.1 ETH to do this. No? So, and then, if this land becomes valuable, the market will tell. Because maybe you will sell it in a secondary market and so on. But at the start, I mean, it needs to be accessible, and people need to start using it, understanding it, what they can create over there.
And is it only terrestrial, or do you go subterranean?
No, it's only terrestrial. It's everything over and below the ground. Yeah, it would be too complex to go. Yeah, so, I mean, you have the parcel and everything over and beneath, basically, you control. Of course, without this mapping also, you cannot control different floors, because if you only use GPS to locate you in space, you know where you are, but you don't know which floor you are. While if you use this optical system where you basically map in 3D the location, actually the camera will understand where you are because of the 3D map. No, basically we build a system so that this works with any mobile phone, so that anybody can do that. Is all based on optics. So basically there is a UX that help you to do that. It's around 5 minutes work for each hexagon. You move around in space, you have a heat map on the floor, and the heat map becomes green when you've taken enough pictures from enough angles, because basically you need to take a lot of pictures from angles. So for example, this room, it will take, it's around 300 square meters, it will take around 5 minutes to take all the pictures from the angles. And you don't have to click anything, you just go around and it's like a video, and in the back end, you take the pictures. Absolutely, absolutely. Again, sorry?
So you have to physically be there and scan them
Yes, so yeah, basically if you want to have this precise geolocation, you or somebody need to be in the place and take the pictures. And then from these pictures, basically an NFT gets generated that represents the 3D map, and you can sell it on the market to us, OVR, or to the owner, of course, or you take it for yourself. I mean, so this is the reasons why you would do this kind of activity. And also this activity is totally permissionless, so you don't need to own something or ask permission to somebody to map the location. It's just the point that, of course, that if you map a location that nobody owns, well, you mapped it, it's yours, the map, but you will not be able to monetize it, if this is your goal, of course. Yes, please.
So essentially, if I travel the world and I go visit places, I can open the OVR app, scan that location, mint it as an NFT, and sell it.
Exactly, exactly. Yes, so the idea is to build this huge decentralized 3D map that is owned by the people that creates it. And actually, the world is a huge place to be mapped. So the first places that we will incentivize are the locations where there is a lot of density of both lands, because that is a wisdom of the crowds on what are the good locations in the world, because basically people voted with their tokens on what are the good locations because they bought those. Yeah. Yes, please. No, you generate an asset that is yours, but then if you want to publish the content over there, you still need to own the geographic coordinates. No? So you have produced something from that location, so, but you need to buy also the land if you want to use that, or sell it to somebody. Yeah. Those are minted. Now we moved all of this ownership layer on Polygon, so the minting basically is almost costless. So you just need to have some matic, but it's 0.0 something dollars to mint it. Yeah. There will be a market. It's not yet live, but there will be a marketplace that basically is on the map. So you have the map of the lands, and you have also the mappings. So you can buy the geographic coordinates, or you can buy the mappings. No, it can be done previously, of course. Of course, the more pictures there are of the location, the better is the map, because basically we generate a point cloud out of that.
And I took some photos of some locations with a 360 camera. Is this useful?
Yes, it's useful, but the point is that if you take the picture through our app, is better, because then all the angles are correct, no? So the raw data are correct. So maybe you make a good 360, but the 360 is not enough. So for example, Google have all of these 360 bubbles, but those are useless to create 3D structures, because you need to have things from different angles. While there, you're at the center and you turn around and you take the pictures, no? So it's a kind of different job. Yeah. How we build a community? So, I mean, we're live since December 2020. I mean, we've been doing many things, so from YouTube to Twitter and so on. But actually, I would say that the best way to build a community in our case is giving them something to build on or to do. So the biggest activity right now is participating to this kind of treasure hunts that I was mentioning. So we have 100,000 app users monthly for that, but also giving them the tools to create stuff. So we have these two builders, one for no coders and one for coders, and they uploaded 13,000 experiences, content over there. No? So, and that's the only way that we see to retain the community, because maybe you do marketing, they on board, they pump the token goes down, and then you lose them. So while if you build content that they love to use, that's the way that we believe we can build a consistent community at least. Yes, we also have our own token, yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.